Live from the Heartland Mamas studios, this is the Heartland Mamas podcast. I'm your host, Heidi Henry. The Heartland Mamas podcast is carried on all podcast platforms, YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, and proudly part of the Demcast USA network. So please like, subscribe, and share because we only have 311 days left to save the USA from fascism. 311 days until the November 5th, 2024 election. You need to get out there and work for Democrats up and down the ticket. You need to follow me on my webpage, which is electheidi.com. And let's get people elected, shall we? Let's not give our country, our community over to fascists and extremists. And I want to talk about some of the extremist policies that some candidates and some parties will do to waste taxpayer money, time, and effort in order to get a leg up on other people. I have knowledge that the Republican Party here in LaSalle County set out to kick people off the ballot that were running for Democratic Precinct Committee person and for county board. Now, Democratic Precinct Committee people is kind of like it's just a little title you get, and you help get people to the polls, and you get out the vote and so on. And if you're not elected, you're appointed, so it's really not a big deal. It is, because you got to collect 10 signatures to get on the ballot, but usually only one person runs. It's not super competitive. It's more of a, I don't know, like thank you for doing stuff sort of thing. And the other thing is county board, which we just had some county board races open up here in LaSalle County. And to get it on the ballot for county board, you only need 7 signatures. Well, I had a friend that was out there getting her signatures, fell, shattered her elbow. I mean, she needed major surgery and was on a lot of painkillers, could not go out and get the rest of her signatures. So I and the county chair offered to help her. So we all got in the car, drove around the neighborhood. We know everybody whose house we're going to go to anyway. We know they're Democrats. We know they're going to sign. We know they're good signatures, all of that. So we get them all turned in. Now, she did have to sign with her non-dominant hand after we had it all looked over by the attorney and notarized and ready to go. The county clerk of the Republican Party, not like they hide who they are because they get somebody, Joe Schmo from Lafayette Street in Ottawa to challenge petitions, whatever, because they want to hide who they are, and that's just silly. Either say it or don't say it, right? But all it was a giant time suck, because every time they file a petition challenge in our county, the sheriff has to stop what they're doing and take the challenge to somebody's door and serve them with paperwork. So my friend that hurt herself is running for 2 positions, county board and Democratic precinct committee person, and the sheriff had to come 2 different times. Now tell me the sheriff has got time for that, because they don't. They just don't have that kind of time. Not only that, but then the attorney that we have, we pay like a salary to the attorney, like a retainer, the county does, but then we have to pay him by the hour to look over the challenge and then to go and sit in the courtroom through these challenges. Now, it was not just my friend, there was other challenges involved. And all total, it cost the LaSalle County taxpayers about $3,800 per frivolous challenge. Now, I believe that if you bring a frivolous challenge, that you should have to repay all of those costs for the sheriff, for the attorney, for all those people who left the county clerk's office. I realize our county clerk is completely inept, but people had to take time away from other duties to go sit there through this process, right? And it totaled up about $3,800 per challenge, and there was multiple challenges. Now, we've got a lot of needs in this county, and we don't have money to waste, and we don't have bodies to waste and do. What could the sheriff have been doing except for going out and serving these frivolous lawsuits? So not only do I think they should reimburse the county, but I think they should reimburse any of the candidates that had to hire legal counsel or miss work to attend these challenges. Now, this person was retired, but just in a tremendous amount of pain from her injury, and had done everything by the book, and still ended up in a challenge, which was completely frivolous. And we've seen this in other races throughout the state where there's multiple candidates vying for one position. So instead of just letting the voters decide. They decide to bring a frivolous challenge to try to knock somebody off the ballot. And this happened recently, and I we had a front seat row or front row ticket for to view this. And in that case, people had to take time off work, had to retain an attorney, had to go down. Their spouse also took time off work, go down to Springfield, sit there all day, wait for their case to be called, to find out that nobody else from the other side had shown up. They just dismissed it out of hand, never showed up. So they caused the state to have to lay out a lot of money. The State Board of Elections that had better things to do, to sit there and waste their time, for them to not show up and then at the very last minute on Friday withdraw their petition. Now, candidates like me and this other candidate, not only do we collect the bulk of our own signatures from people we already know who live in the district we're trying to serve, who are part of our party that usually vote Democrat, that are our neighbors and friends. Those are the people who we go to ask for signatures. Then we take them. In my case, they went before two people who are attorneys, but also sitting judges, and another attorney, to be checked over completely, verified, and then they were, sent downstate. Everything had to be notarized and checked over from top to bottom. So that's what I did. So when my opponent, Jed Davis, said that he could have challenged mine, no, you couldn't have. You were just blowing smoke. I didn't challenge yours because you're the incumbent and I didn't want to waste your time. So why are you wasting other people's time by making that stupid ass statement? That was really stupid, because everybody who knows that I dot every I and cross every T, because I'm meticulous like that. So don't make threats you're not going to make good on. They just make you look small. And I'm going to let you go for right now. Tomorrow on the cast, we are going to talk about the code words the Republican Party is using from the Heritage Foundation and the Freedom Foundation that are spoon fed to them on causing the end of child labor laws and dismantling Medicare and Social Security. But we're going to talk about the code words they're going to use to try to convince you to vote for them. So I just wanted to let you know that from the edge of the Great Red Divide, this has been the Heartland Mamas podcast. My name is Heidi Henry, and next time somebody makes a frivolous lawsuit to kick somebody off the ballot, they should have to reimburse the state or the county and pay the legal expenses of the candidate they challenged. And I want to make sure that gets done. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.